when you have made a mistake and it's brought to your attention,
you learn from it.
You learn from it. If you need to apologize for it. Make it good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You make it good, and then you move on.
Because you never want to leave on a bad note.
You never want to put a bad taste in nobody's mouth. When I tell people all the time, at the end of the day, as the manager or the person that you are, you do what you need to do to make sure that whatever you're serving is sanitized and needs to be where it needs to be.
That's true.
Yeah.
We back with Talking Business Over Brunch. Today we got Tan Greene in the building. And so let's start with you telling them who is Tan Greene?
Boy, who is Tan Greene? Thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it. Tan Greene is, I'm the youngest. I'll start from the childhood, I guess.
Yes, let's go. I love when we take it back.
Take it all back?
Yeah, because it forms the story.
It does. It shapes the story, and it kind of lets you know exactly where I am today. I'm Tanya Greene. They call me Tan. And I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina. I am geeky.
You know, is that like a South Carolina word? I always
Yes.
I've been trying to figure it out.
It's our dialect. It's if you see me with a group of people that are from Charleston, it's going to turn how I'm talking right now will turn completely.
So what does it actually mean though?
So geeky basically it stems from our heritage in terms of it's a culture. It's basically a culture. Mm-hmm. So in terms of how we speak, our food, different things of that sort.
Yeah, I see you have I don't want to give it up.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
And I'm just sharing little tidbits because it'll all come together full circle in a little while.
Right.
But yes, I am from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm the youngest of 3 children. My father was a pastor. Mm-hmm. Okay, my father was a bishop in Charleston, South Carolina, and my mother. To get to where I am today, my mother every Thursday, mostly every Thursday, she would serve the community. So out of her own money, she would serve the community. Wow. So basically the agreement was that they would come in, they would get a good meal, and then they'd have to stay for church that night.
Nice.
Right. So hey,
so nice way to get you to join that.
Feed you naturally and feed you spiritually.
But so can we pause right there?
Absolutely.
Because I want to say something. So that's how this podcast came about, right?
Really?
And we and Shalia, we talk about this all the time. Like how people come together is always over food.
True.
And so
yes.
that goes into that.
It's one of the main things in life that brings us together. Mm-hmm. Food and music.
Yep.
Yeah. So food is definitely.
I love a good. Man, when I'm in my zone, put that music on real loud.
Yes.
And I'm in my zone.
And you can do a whole lot. You can clean the whole house, and then even though you clean the whole house with some good music, and eating it as you're doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Shalia comes to my house all the time, and every time she's coming, is the music always on?
Right. Yeah, that's a good. The food thing is the central piece that all brings the unity and all the good stuff. So like I said, my mother would serve on Thursdays, and my father would preach on Thursday nights. Nice. And basically feed the natural, because my mom believed in this right here. Nobody's hearing you if they're hungry. Nobody's hearing you.
They hear their stomachs.
They're hearing their stomachs, right? So basically, let's get them fed first, and then we can introduce them to Christ.
That's so crazy, and it goes in so much into business because it's just like anything else, right? Mm-hmm. She used food as a way to bring them together, but not only that, to be able to grow your father's
ministry. Exactly. Absolutely. And it did. It was a wonderful thing. It was a wonderful thing for me as a child to see. My parents were very giving. I would never, ever say that I didn't come from a giving. Everybody's like, oh, Tan, you so this, you so that. I have no choice because I come from 2 people that would give their very last. I've seen my father take his shoes off his feet to give to somebody. I mean, it's just to give the last. You know what I'm saying? So I come from very giving people. So so that's what I was raised up seeing in terms of with my mother giving to the community. So I started in the field. I'm one of these persons in terms of, unfortunately, I wish I could be like you when it comes to finishing out the education like how it's supposed to be. But I wasn't that type. I did go to school for a little while, and it just wasn't my thing. I'm just a hard worker. I'm a hard worker, and I've been very blessed. I've been very fortunate that the Lord has blessed me with great jobs without having higher education.
And I wasn't always a great worker.
Really?
No. I got the education, but I wasn't always a great worker.
Really? Isn't that something?
Right.
I find it hard to believe.
It's not so much that like I would do the job.
Okay.
Right? Just the job. Like I'm here, I'm doing the necessities, what's required of me. But as far as going out my way and above and beyond, that was not me.
Okay.
Right? So yeah, I had the education, but I was one of those ones I was like, nah, I'm here for a check. I'm here to do my time. Almost like jail. Like I'm here to do my time and go. And it got to a point, it wasn't until after I got laid off and I started really getting in tune with myself and learning. Like, it was crazy because one day I was in my job and I was just like, I would complain every day to one of my best friends. And she was like, you're complaining and there's people outside that want your position. Not only that, she's like, it's not about what you think is stupid or what you feel like. You have to do what's required from the company, right? And I didn't get it. I was just like,
right,
man, you just one of those. And it wasn't until after I got laid off that I'm like, I started, really getting in tune with myself and like really reading a lot and I've thought about it, like, if I was my employer and, layoffs was happening, it was nothing for them to fight for because I was doing just the bare minimum. If I was one of those ones that was going above and beyond, but it taught me it taught me well because now I'm way more appreciative. So I literally been telling people this all week, like I was stripped of everything at one time, and I think that it was for a reason. It was to show me
valuable lessons. Valuable lesson, yeah. That's a good thing.
So
now you know
the education is cool.
Yeah.
But if you ain't got the drive and the work ethic, like what you say, you're a hard worker.
Right.
I wasn't always that, right? Now I'm way more in tune and way more.
That's good.
And so I feel like I can be better.
Yeah. And you will be. Definitely. You will be. My father had his own landscaping business and my mother had a daycare center when I was growing up. So my summer was pick which one you're gonna be in. Right. Where are you going to work? You going to work in the heat with your dad, or are you going to go change poopy diapers? You know what I'm saying?
So give me the poopy diapers. Give me the poopy diapers, please.
So it was basically, I kind of like my dad because at a certain time he start off early in the morning, and then by 2 o'clock we're done. You know what I'm saying? As to where with my mom, that was from 6:30 in the morning until 6:30 at night. Oof. Yeah. So basically, my work ethics comes from my parents. Both of my parents being entrepreneurs, and I saw them work very, very hard, very, very hard in terms of building their business and their brand. Of course, it wasn't like how we are today. My dad didn't have a big, huge landscaping business, and my mom, she had a very successful daycare center. But his business was enough to put food on the table. And the funny part about it was that all of this was after the fact that he, at a young age, was diagnosed with diabetes, and his job let him go.
Wow.
And same with my mom. She had a heart issue, and her job let her go. So therefore, from those concerns, they birthed their
businesses.
Their businesses, exactly. And so
but that's how a lot of businesses are.
Oh yeah.
And they come. They come right when you need them to come.
Right when you need them to come, and you didn't even know that you had all that in you until it's time.
Until it's time.
Right. So
you get the. Hey man, I don't know what I'm getting ready to do.
Right.
All right, you better start using the soft skills you got to figure it out.
And my dad, one of his pastor friends, told him, Reb, I'm gonna give you a lawnmower, and you go get some business. Because his friend had a landscaping business as well. So he got that lawnmower and he built his business. And all it takes is really, because, I have a house and my house is in Ellenwood. And my landscaping guy that cuts my grass, basically my neighbor liked how he cut my grass. So he got exactly. So do a good job and other people will get you.
Right.
So it's a win-win situation if you put your heart and your might into it and make it happen.
Yeah.
So I was in Charleston, South Carolina until about 20. I started out in mortuary science. I don't share this a lot, but I thought I was going to be a mortician one time. So I came to Georgia to go to Dr. Jones. That's how I got to Atlanta, Georgia.
I never heard of that one.
It's on Snapfinger.
Okay, that's Snapfinger Road. Okay, I know where it is.
So a whole mortuary school. And so I did school there, and I thought that, I was like, in my head I was like, when I got to school, okay, so my dad is the pastor, then I'll bury the folks. You know, he got the folks in the church or whatever. So
Nice.
my dad preaches the obituary and all that, whatever.
I get the business.
And I get the business. That's how I was thinking.
You see how? But do you
At a young
make
age.
the connection on how your business mind processes things just from watching? All right, my mother grew my dad's ministry by bringing food, but she's also giving back and what she likes to do. All right, bet. So now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get me a morgue business, and it's gonna work out with my dad because he gonna bring me business, and then.
And from a young age, it's determined, like how you just said. From a young age, I believe that's planted in you. That's a gift from the Almighty.
That's
that you have.
It gotta be in you.
It gotta be in you. No, it gotta be in you.
I tell you,
Yes,
it gotta be not on you.
Right. And it was in me. It was in me. I saw it. It was displayed. And from there, I started 16, 17. I kind of knew in high school that this wasn't. I played basketball. And I thought that, maybe I'll get a scholarship and I'll go to college and and I had some people scouting and all that good stuff. And I thought I wanted to take that route, but I really didn't because I wasn't going to work hard in college.
Right.
I barely made it out of high school, to tell you the truth. Not that I wasn't smart enough. It's just that I didn't apply myself. Some people just don't like school. I don't like school. I don't like tests. I don't like any of that
I
stuff.
literally had this conversation with Sasha on that last conversation we had. And I told her, I wasn't that one. I sat on the couch and told them that I am dropping out and there was nothing that anybody could do to me because I was done. Right? At 16 years old. And to be 3 degrees in later is crazy.
Wow, that is insane.
Crazy. It's crazy.
That was a real big turnaround.
I still don't know how I got here. I still don't know how I got here.
That is awesome. Yeah. So I knew early on that I wasn't going to be the one that was all college book smart. The smart one in my family was my middle sister, Pandora. She was very smart. She's still very smart. We still call her for when the stuff that we need to get. You got that one person in the family.
Yes.
Right. So she's that go-to person. But I knew early on that I had something in me that was different.
Right.
So I went to Captain Jones, and then I was like, this isn't working for me because the entrepreneurship in terms of how that looked was going to be a little hard at the moment. Me working for somebody and only making like $9 an hour, I wasn't cut out for that. Especially because my background also is in food service where I was a server. So I'm used to coming home with, $150, $200, $300 a night. Yeah, I'm killing it. So making $9 an hour, no, I can't live on a check.
It's a good side hustle, especially for people in college. And
awesome side hustle. I recommend that to everybody. If you're trying to learn that. Learn bartending and waiting on tables. Listen.
I thought about bartending before, and as quick as it came into my mind, I was like,
Well, they got all these different classes and stuff now. Mixologists now.
I'm really more concerned. Certain things bother me. So, in a lot of restaurants, they're not as sanitary as we think, and those type of things really bother me. And so, I don't know if I'm really cut out for that. So
I get it.
That was the mindset I had.
Trust me, you see a lot. I have worked in Red Lobster. I've worked in Applebee's. I've worked in several places. I've done Hotel Sheraton, Quality Inn. I mean, I've done it all, and you see a lot. But at the end of the day, as the manager or the person that you are, you do what you need to do to make sure that whatever you're serving is sanitized and needs to be where it needs to be.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I thought about it. I never paid attention to the kitchen. Now, I'll tell you this right here. I worked at Red Lobster back in the day on Candler Road. That was, you could have eaten up the floor in that place because the manager at that time, his name was Pete. He did. It was. I don't know if his background was military, but when I tell you that
I love him. People are very intimidated by people with militant attitudes and militant ways. I'm that way. I'm very
Me too. I am too. To have not been in the military, people say all the time, were you in the military? Yeah, because I'm militant and I'm OCD.
Yes.
And I'm very structured.
Structured.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's another conversation for another day.
Yes. So after the Gunton Jones didn't pan out like how I wanted to, then I said, okay, well I gotta make some other changes because this is not gonna work. So I officially moved to Atlanta, Georgia. After school, I officially moved to Atlanta, Georgia when I was 22 years old. Mm-hmm. Okay, and from there I did a lot of jobs. I did some of everything. Prior to, being the manager at different restaurants and different hotels. So hospitality has always been my thing. Okay. Always hospitality. Hands down, I'm hospitality. So I went from hospitality as far as food service to hospitality with becoming a property manager. Mm-hmm. And so what happened was I was working at Applebee's on Cascade. Okay. This lady would come in there every single day. Her name was Sandy Hartman. She would come in there every single day. She had an apartment community on Jackson Street, and she had an apartment community, Verbena Gardens, off of MLK. Mm-hmm. She was a millionaire. Nice, sharp little lady, and she would come in there, and I would serve her. And she was like, I want you to work for me. She kept, for at least over a year, Tan, I want you to work for me. And I was like, well, look at this, I'm out of here. She said, I want to teach you property management, and I want you to work for me. And I was like, nah, I'm good. You want some more tea? Whatever the case was, I wasn't featuring it. That's not where I wanted to go. I had no idea as far as property management. I had no idea what that was, didn't care what it was. Right. Was no concern. I paid my rent at my office. At that time I was off of Candler Road in Glen Hollow. So I was fine. Everything was good. Making my money at Cascade Applebee's. And so she kept coming. My apartment kept coming in and doing her thing. And so she said to me one day, she said, I just want you to work for me. I really want you to work for me. Kept blowing her off. And so the next thing was, she got me on a day where I was very frustrated. They had made me mad in that kitchen. My food wasn't coming out. And when the food is
Forget it.
Right, I'm out of here. When the food is not coming out right, the drink's not coming out right, they're messing with your money. Right. Okay, as a server, they're messing with your tip. If they gotta wait 30, 35 minutes, 40 minutes on food and nobody's in the restaurant, that is a problem. Right. Feel me? So, she got me that day. And she said, I want you to work for me. I said, I'm ready today. I'm ready. Not I'm ready today. I'm ready today. So she gave me her contact information and she said, I want you to come down to where I am, to these apartments over here for MLK. And she said, I want you to talk to my my assistant. Her name is Kathy. And then we're going to, something smells good.
Chef B, we waiting on you.
She said, she's going to talk with you and then we'll get things started. Mm-hmm. So I'm a creature of habit, and I'm also very, I'm going to do the right thing. Most of the times I'm going to do the right thing, okay? And people hate that about me. So I wanted to put my notice in. My 2 weeks notice and let them know that I'm leaving. So I did put my notice in, and then I worked until the end, and then came on board with Sandy Hartman, and I was her manager. She made me her manager. Not
straight out of Applebee's.
Straight out of Applebee's.
I'm trying to tell these people all the time, your network is your network. I don't care how cliche it sounds. Your network is your network.
It's the truth.
You never know who you talking to. I could be sitting at the car wash, at the gas station, and this is why I always treat people a certain type of way, and I always greet people, and I'm always pleasant because you never know who you're talking to, especially in a place like Atlanta. Like Atlanta has so many entrepreneurs and millionaires, right?
That look regular.
And they look regular. They're walking the mall, they're at the gas station, they're at the car wash. I literally had someone send me a text the other day. I posted a picture of me and a senator from New York. And this young guy I know, he sends me a screenshot of my Instagram, and he says, this is one of my, he has a car wash business, and he said, this is one of my clients. I had no idea who he was. It was a senator of New York.
Wow. Interesting.
I said, you see?
Interesting.
I said, you gotta watch your surroundings. Yeah. You don't know.
You never know. And that's why it's important to do right. That's why it's important to be respectful. And that's why it's always good to present yourself in the best way possible.
At all times.
Well, ladies.
Hey. Wow.
We got Chef B in the building.
Hey, Chef B, how are you?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
Man.
This is awesome.
Can somebody zoom in up on this?
What a nice presentation.
Can we zoom in on this?
Please. We need a picture of this.
I need to.
No, you said brunch. This looks like dinner.
Right, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
You said brunch.
Nah, they gonna wish they had some this.
You got footage though.
You said brunch and this looks like dinner.
Right. You need the ice? Okay. Excuse me, you guys. Sorry for the wait.
I can tell that it's going to be worth it.
Oh,
And it's crazy because any other day we say we're not eating with no paper with no plastic forks. It's brought me a plastic fork.
I know.
I appreciate all plastic, okay? Because man. As always be.
Bussin'.
Every time.
Wow. Is it busting?
She don't miss.
Don't miss. I love it.
Of course.
Okay.
Man.
Danaita, you ain't gonna breathe, is it?
Man. Did I tell you earlier after I'm waiting to eat today? Usually I'm cool, but
All right. This looks amazing.
So,
yes.
as y'all see, we got Chef B.
And look at this. Let's cheers.
Chef B.
Yes.
Cheers to business, to relationships, to networking, to
all of the good
all
stuff.
all of it.
Yes. That's very good. Very good. Let me taste this right quick.
So, Tan as a Tan is in the food industry herself.
Food industry.
So to taste another chef's
Yes.
food, I
love it. I love it all day. I do.
Man,
This is a great looking dish.
B,
Chef kisses from Tan to Chef B.
Chef B then left out, but oh, there she go.
It's a good
Chef B, man.
Chef kisses.
Thank you.
Yes.
I didn't bring no hot sauce down.
I don't need it. This is good.
Thank y'all
This is
so
very
much.
good.
I'm about to grub outside and
Okay.
check back in with y'all in a minute.
All right,
Appreciate
we
you
just
so
gonna
much.
finish our conversation.
Anytime.
Okay.
But so
Where were we? Because we didn't got totally distracted.
B came in here and she messed up. I
She
said,
messed up.
with this food,
Man.
but it's so good.
It's very good.
It's so good.
Yes, it is.
Every piece of it, though.
Very flavorful.
Man. But no, back to what the conversation was. It's I think that like you were saying, like, you know, you never know who you sitting with, you never know who you around, and so presenting yourself and conducting yourself, it's all about your personal brand.
Yes.
And the problem is, a lot of people don't understand personal branding. They think, oh, well, I'm off the clock, or I'm out of work,
No.
or it still represents you, your person, whatever that looks like.
You will never, as an entrepreneur, you will never off the clock. Hear me when I say that. You are never.
But I don't even think it has anything to do with entrepreneurship. I think your personal brand
Yeah.
is how you want the world. Like, Coca-Cola, you ain't gonna never see these big companies out, you know, doing, I mean, and they make new news as a scandal, as this big blow up.
Right.
But essentially, it's about saving face. And that's what people don't understand when it comes to your personal brand. You have to always save face.
So I'm gonna give you a story with that. I shop at certain stores, okay, to get my food for my truck. And you never know that people are watching you. I know people are watching me, but I don't think people pay attention to me. Because most times I'm in a rush. I'm moving real fast, I'm moving real quick. Hey, talking to, hey, good to see you, yada, yada. I'll see you next week, yada, yada. I'm keeping it moving because I'm always on a schedule. When you work for yourself, you're always on a schedule.
I don't even think it got nothing to do with work. I think when you just create certain things in your life, you're always on a schedule.
You're always on schedule. And one thing about me, I'm very time conscious. I don't like today when I was coming here and I was running a few minutes behind. I was like, oh my gosh, I hate it. I like to be way ahead of time. I'm at a season of my life now where I'm 54 years old. I don't like to rush for anything. I'm the one that goes to the airport way ahead of time.
2 hours, 3 hours.
Exactly. Because I want to sit down and I want to chill. I don't want to be that used to be me like this all the time. Now, no. I'm going ahead of time so that I can relax. I can answer some emails, or whatever the case is, because I use the time that I get in terms of to be able to chill or whatever, well, I think that I'm chilling, I can always be doing something else. So it's always worthwhile. Nonetheless, I was telling you about, I wear Adidas gear. That's my favorite. Play basketball, so I'm an Adidas fan. Clothing gear. I wear it every single day. Okay?
That's what we talked about with me with my sweatsuits. I don't care what status I reach, sweatsuits are my thing. Right? And people be like, oh, well, you're an instructor now, you're a business professional. Who told you that a business professional
had to be dressed up all the time?
Who says that your clothes? Don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place for things, but I don't have to get up every day and put on a suit to share the knowledge that I have.
You don't. So, it's the same with me. I wear Adidas every day, head to bottom. So, I came in one day, and I don't know why I didn't have it on. I had on something else. I can't remember what I had on. And she said to me, the lady said to me behind the counter, she was like, oh, boy, I almost didn't recognize you today. You don't have on your gear. People are paying attention.
Yeah.
The least little things, such as what I wear, somebody's paying attention.
You're a constant customer.
And I'm a constant customer, exactly. So all of that in terms is important when it comes to your brand. I don't even go out of my house looking that crazy, just go run down the street or run to the store. I am very, 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 very cautious in terms of how I present myself every single time. It's even down to the point in terms of when certain things are going on, and if it's going to be something that's not, it looks like it's getting out of hand, or I'm going a different direction.
Right.
Because I don't want nobody saying that, is that Tan from Auntie Al's food truck?
To be mistakenly associated.
I was a part of that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's very easy to get caught in those type of situations. Yes. I'll just use, I'm not sure if you're into social media, but recently, Saucy Santana was seen leaving a scene right before his friend Zell and Erica Mena, they ended up getting arrested. They were into it. He saw where it was going, and he left. And some people viewed it as, oh, he's scary. I don't think it had nothing to do with that. When you are of a certain caliber, you have to be mindful of the things that you involve yourself in,
and when to exit.
And know when to exit. When to exit.
This chicken is so good. Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Let me try something.
Chef B.
I'm very big on chicken. I love chicken. I love food that's seasoned. I come from Charleston, South Carolina, so the food has to be seasoned.
Yep.
This food is seasoned. It is really good. So, what was I saying? Back to Sandy Hartman teaching me the business.
Yep.
And I stayed with her until a friend of mine approached me about a corporate job. So it was time for me to kind of come out of the mom and pop type environment.
Yep.
And then go into the big leagues.
Graduated. Called Big Fish.
I did my time. I learned the business. And her business was consistent of Section 8 affordable housing, affordable living. So Section 8, HUD, tax credit, I did all of that.
Right.
I learned that business at a D community.
Right.
D means that it's not all that.
I'm glad you're just putting these out there for people who don't know and then are into property management.
Right.
Breaking it down.
It's not the best, but it's not the worst. So it's a place to live, and you have a roof over your head. And so that's where I started.
So good, better, best.
Exactly.
So where was that for? Would D community be considered good, better, best?
Below good.
Oh, okay.
What's good?
Under good.
Under good, right. Yeah.
All right. You just taught me something.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
So, I was very gracious and grateful to her because she gave me my first stamps on it and my legs in terms of how to move. She taught me, her sister taught me, and it was awesome. So I always give a shout out to her because she's deceased now, but she was so good to me. She was good to me, just taking me off of being a server and bringing me and trusting me. Exactly. And giving me a start into a different kind of business. You know what I'm saying?
Right. A different lifestyle.
A total different lifestyle.
Because as a millionaire, to have firsthand, I can pick up the phone and call a millionaire.
Mm-hmm. Right. That means a lot.
That means a lot.
I know a millionaire.
I cannot.
Yes.
I don't know that I have a contact in my phone that I can say right now. I can call up a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
I have one that he might be touching it, but I haven't made it. I don't know, but I'm thinking that he might be.
He not saying nothing.
Yeah, he ain't saying nothing.
Right.
But I'm in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't hit the status.
Okay. Well, yeah, she was a millionaire, and she was not only my boss, but she was my friend. So, I went on to pursue property management in a different area, and I went to student housing. So I went to Tifton, Georgia, and I opened up the new dorm at ABAC College in Tifton, Georgia.
Okay.
So that there now starts my whole new outlook on life in terms of, okay,
You in a different industry.
I'm in a different industry now, and I had to change a lot of things. And so I'm grateful because I had people in my life that were in corporate America that could deposit into me and tell me, move like this, don't move like that.
But you see the word that you used, and I love that word, deposited into you,
Mhm.
right? Because it's valuable.
Mhm.
It's not like, yeah, they poured into me. Yeah, they poured into you. But deposited into you is more so like they saw you
Mhm.
and they saw what you were capable of,
Mhm.
and they wanted to provide value,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not just, yeah, I'm gonna teach her something so she could work.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want to deposit into you
Mhm.
so that I can add value to you.
Exactly.
Value to someone is not only bringing them more money wise,
Mhm.
but it brings them more in terms of how they connect with other people.
Status.
Status. That's the exact word.
Yeah. So that's exactly what it did for me, because once I learned the basics of what Sandy taught me, and then I moved on to student housing, building my resume. From there, went on to multifamily, still building my resume. And so I did a lot of years. I worked in South Georgia, I worked in Alabama. I even lived in Goodyear, Arizona. And I did property management throughout all of those years.
Nice.
So I came back, I took a job in Arizona in the early 2000s, well, mid 2000s, and then I came back home 2014, back to Georgia, because Georgia's always going to be home for me.
Right.
Never going back to Charleston, South Carolina.
That's how I feel about New York. And they're like, oh, you don't want to move back?
No, I love it. I love to come, I love to go visit, see my people, get back in that car, and come on back.
Do you know that I just read or found out last week that Atlanta is the #1 in the nation for black-owned businesses?
I believe
I forget what the percentage was,
Mhm.
but there are over
And the LLCs?
8,000 black-owned businesses in the state of Georgia
So you know,
on multiple outlets.
Yes.
Lending Tree.
really,
A bunch of sources. If you Google it, it will come up. It's the first thing that comes up down my whole timeline.
so I was listening to the news when they were talking about different things that happened during COVID. And one of the things was the businesses, and it was black, basically, business that was birthed from COVID, exactly. And the number in terms of how it was, I can't remember what it was, and I'm gonna put out the wrong number, but it shot up, it was unbelievable.
Right.
So for you to say that, I believe it. Yeah.
It's so crazy that you say that, right? So my cousin, he was actually on the podcast with us, and he talked about him birthing a lawn care business because it was a way for him to provide for his son during the pandemic, because he's a boxing coach, but so during the pandemic we couldn't meet anybody. So he was like, I gotta find something that I can do right now where I don't have to have contact with people. And so he started up a lawn care business. He didn't stay in it long because his heart is in boxing. But that goes back to like what you said about your dad. Your dad started his lawn care, business because he needed a job from being
To
laid
support his
off
family.
to support his family. Right? And so a lot of people go into careers and start businesses, when their backs are against the wall.
And nothing else, they have no way out.
But a lot of times, like we just said, they come at the right time. And so one of the things I want to ask you, your business, it wasn't started during COVID, was it? It was. The food truck. Okay. Please, let's talk about that.
So, in 2018, 19, my life took a little turn, and I needed to make some changes. I made some changes. I took a job in Alabama. I needed to get out of Atlanta for a little while and take a job somewhere else. So I went to Alabama.
I'm so scared of Alabama. I'm scared of the state of Alabama.
It's different. It's very different.
You always read about all of the things that go on there, especially with black people. It just makes me nervous that I could just be riding down the street one day and it just makes me very, very nervous. But that's another conversation.
What's sad is it's 2 hours away from here, Birmingham, and it's night and day.
Really?
Night and day. You'd be surprised. I mean, it's night and day. Like how you said, it's another day. For that, talk about that. I took a job, property manager job. I got a good friend. She was the regional manager, and she gave me an opportunity to go to Alabama. And she was like, free housing, and just go work and turn the property around. Property was very bad and needed to turn around. And I'm a cleanup girl, so something I like to do. So I took the job, went to Alabama, did the job, and she told me, once you got everything where it needed to be, that I'll get a job for you and you come back to Atlanta. So after everything went where it went and all that good stuff, some other concerns happened where I was just ready to leave Alabama. I had enough. So I came on back to Atlanta. And I didn't want to be a manager anymore. I wanted to spend time in the field. So the same lady, good friend of mine, she made a position for me. So at this community over there in Stone Mountain, she made this position where I became like a turnkey manager.
Do you know how talented you have to be? This lady took a risk on you.
Right.
Pulling you from Applebee's, giving you a management position, right? And then taking that same thing and turning it around and saying, I'm gonna make a position for you. This position doesn't exist. We're gonna make this position for you.
So now, I'm working in this position, and I like it. All I'm doing now is basically overseeing that the apartments are done right when people get ready to move in. So I call the vendors, carpet people, floor people, painters, all those people, the maintenance guys who are going to turn the apartment, get it ready to move in. And so, chicken is so bad. Listen.
Y'all see my plate?
Listen.
Oh man,
It's very
I'm
good.
over here like
Right, enjoying it.
killing it.
Soul Food Friday. So,
Switched it up.
right. Let me back up a little bit. While I was in Alabama, because I wasn't paying no rent and stuff like that, I was saving my money. I made an investment, and the investment came out for me. I always wanted a food truck.
Yep.
So I said, okay, I got a little bit of change now.
Let's go with it.
I'm about to turn 50 years old. Let me go buy this for my 50th birthday.
Nice.
when I tell you that God set up everything so perfectly for me, everything has always been, my timing has always been just on point, because I know it's on point because nothing is really with the struggle. God always intentionally has people in my path that will give me the information I need to do whatever I need to do.
But that's because you have created that space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your parents created it for
Mm-hmm.
you. It rubbed off from you. You
Mm-hmm.
create that atmosphere for people. So it's only going to come back
Mm-hmm.
tenfold.
And it has. So, there was a guy that was working at my property in Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
He and I are good friends now, to this day. He was a contractor. I don't know how we started talking about food trucks. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, oh yeah, I got one. I do desserts. Ding, 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 ding. I'm like, where'd you get yours from, dude? And he told me where he got it from. I got it from Bono, place in Bono, Georgia.
Wow.
I said, oh, okay. Right outside, it's probably like 20 minutes outside of where my spiritual parents live, right?
Okay.
So, I started online, my research. He gave me a number, guy that hooked him up. And he said, call Jack. Jack is going to hook you up. I did. I called Jack, and Jack told me what he had. I told him what I was looking for. So, the week before my birthday, 4 years ago, my spiritual parents and I, we went to the place, the location, to look for the truck, right? Got on this big lot, and they just had so many food trucks. Oh, it was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, just food trucks forever. And just to let you know, the front end of my story with food trucks was when I worked downtown in Charleston, South Carolina, I used to always see food trucks. And I was like, dang, boy, they making some money.
And then,
Right, I'm like, I want me one of them. But back then it was the sandwich trucks.
Yeah.
You know, this serving sandwiches and coffee, stuff like that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
silver. Y'all,
Yep.
I mean, y'all from New York, y'all,
Yep.
y'all used to seeing food trucks. Well, down south, you don't really see a lot of food trucks. It's popular now, but it wasn't popular. To me, it didn't become popular until after COVID. Okay? So, I went and
super random Beavis food is.
it is. It's awesome. It really is.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
it
You
is.
see my place
Yeah.
there.
It's very good.
Thank
So,
you.
and I'm trying to, the whole, trying to keep clean and talk and eat at the same, that's a lot going on. Right? That's a lot.
Take
And the
your
food-
time.
And the
Take
food
your
is
time.
amazing.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
and I like to, I'm a foodie. I
Me
love to
too,
eat. I like to
me
get
too.
into it.
I made sure I made
I think I
sure
done got into it.
So, I went to Bono, Georgia. We went to Bono, Georgia. We saw what I wanted. And when you have cash move things, right?
Yep.
So they asked for one ticket price. I was like, nope, I'm not paying that. This is what I got cash, and this is what I want. That truck had everything I wanted, all the brand new appliances, had stove, refrigerator, freezer, had everything on it. It was ready to rock and roll. So I said, this is what I want, and this is how much I paid for it. He's like, okay, cool. So wrote up the deal.
When he speaks.
Right. He wrote up the deal, the title, all that good stuff, and they delivered it to my spiritual parents' house, which was about 30 minutes away. So now, this was 2020. That truck sat there for a whole year. Whole year. I was scared. I was scared to move it. Now, I knew I was supposed to, be in the business, but now, coming to the point as to where I'm going to launch out and stretch out, as to where there's no 401k, there's no insurance, there's no pay every 2 weeks, and to say I'm going to fully rely on this business, this cooking thing that I got in my head. And then the crazy part about me is that
Security.
right, security. I had security, but I was afraid. The funny part about me was that I didn't cook. I could, now back in the day I could cook. I know I could cook, but I didn't have to. I came out of my parents' house where my mom and dad did all the cooking, and then anybody that I was with, they
were
cooked.
cooking.
So I didn't really have to cook.
Right.
But I knew I
Sound
could
like
cook.
yeah.
So then in my last relationship, there were certain things that I would make. That just would be like, okay, well, yeah, you can call her. She's gonna make the roast. She's gonna make the turkey wings. You can
Yeah.
count on me for doing these things. I was good at that. I stayed in my lane and didn't come out of that. So as I was thinking about the food truck, I never thought about the most important part. And guess what that part was? Who in the devil gonna cook the food?
That's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
That's the first thing you look for when you go in and look for a food truck. Okay, so I got the cook. I know who's gonna cook the food. Now I can go get the truck.
I didn't have that. All I had was the business part of purchasing the truck and knowing how to market the business.
Yeah.
But in terms of the cook itself, that was far.
But let me tell you something. It's so crazy because that's how the business mind works. People with a business mindset. I tell we talked about that the other day. Like I do it all the time. Like my mind goes business 100 miles per hour.
You're not even thinking like, okay, I'm gonna get this done though.
Right. You know, it comes together because obviously, you know, once we in there, we in there.
Yeah.
Well, when we dipping our foot in that pool trying to figure it out.
Listen,
Oh man,
I gotta tell you this here. That truck sat there for a year. And I basically was trying to figure out how I was going to make it work, all right? Trying to get my mind wrapped around leaving a job.
Yeah.
Or was I going to work the job at the same time as doing the truck, how I wanted to do it. I didn't have that map out. I was afraid. So, I went on vacation. And it was new management. So my friend who had hired me, she was gone. She went on someplace else. New management took over, and it was a new manager, new guy. I went on vacation. I didn't like the job. I was becoming very disgruntled. Everything was just falling apart. They wouldn't give me the tools that you needed to be successful. So it was like, oh my God, I hate going to work, yada, yada, yada. At this point, I'm just going for a check. Went to Destin, Florida. Had a beautiful time. And I told my friend, I said, oh, when I get back, oh my God, I feel something about this job. Something needs to happen, right? Now I'm trying to set up my business. I'm doing those slow things, you know, in my head, trying to set it up. Anyhow, I get in from vacation that Sunday night, that Monday, I go to work. I go in the office, nobody's there because I'm always the first one to show up. Nobody's there, so I'm pulling my reports to see what apartments need to, you know, what needs to be done, yada, yada, yada. Pulling my report, whatever the case was. And so, I gathered my information and I started going to walk units. And I had given them instructions on what to do when I was on vacation, things that should have been done. Well, needless to say, when I was on vacation, the boss said they didn't do nothing. Nothing was done. Nothing got done. And we got move-ins that's about to happen. Okay? And nothing got done. I'm frustrated. I'm mad. I'm in the apartment talking to myself and saying, I'm saying some stuff. I am hot as a firecracker. And I'm ready to go.
She's saying them words that we can't say on this here.
Exactly. I am definitely ready to go. I ain't got time for this here. I wish I was at the beach. When I come from the beach,
right.
You know. So I'm just real mad. Now, granted, that's why you got to be careful when your voice, when you verbally say something, your posture, when you get on, you got to be careful how you do things. Shortly after, I'll never forget it. It was 10 for 10 because I looked at my watch. My manager calls me. He said, "Hey Tan, can you come to my office?" I said, "Sure." So I came to the office. When you walk in through his back door, he has a glass office. The assistant manager is sitting in there as well. So I said to myself, "Oh, I'm about to get fired." I know the setup. I used to be a manager. You always have to have a witness in there.
I'm trying to tell you.
When you get ready to fire somebody, you always have to have a witness in there.
They laid me up over the phone.
Really? I don't understand that.
Over the phone, I got laid off.
And my niece,
I was feeling like Craig on Friday.
Right.
How you get fired?
And my niece, she got fired from terminated over the phone to for Walmart. I'm like, what? They didn't let you come in?
Nah, they called me on the phone. I said, it's so crazy because
things have changed.
Like you said, you just get that feeling, man.
Yeah.
I know they had already did a bunch of wave of layoffs, like groups of people, hundreds of people at a time.
Was this around the pandemic?
This was like November of 2022.
Okay.
So all these big tech companies, after the pandemic now, they're trying to recover and they can't recover. So you like go on LinkedIn, even down to right now, you go on LinkedIn, people are talking about how they've been laid off for months, their savings is depleted, and this, that, and the third. It's crazy outside right now.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what. When I walked in that office, he was sitting at the desk. They were behind the desk, and I came in like from near the door, just like this right now. And he was like, "Tane, you know I like you. You know you're my girl." I was like, "Yeah, I like you too, dear." And he was like, "Upper management has decided that they no longer want to move forward with you." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Can I get my separation notice every time?" He's trying to explain, and he's trying to, make it. I was like, "Dude, it is okay. I'm good." Right? So that same particular day, I had a very important meeting regarding my truck. That I said,
somebody to call you in to get you fired, and you like, "Dude, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm good." I don't.
At that point, I knew that I had gotten to a place where God was saying, "It's time to go.
It's time.
Why are you still here? I have given you everything that you need, and you're still trying to hold on and be on this job when I'm trying to release you."
Right.
I'm holding on for dear life. You know what I'm saying? Holding on, struggling.
That was me. What did I say to you the other day, B? I was telling both of y'all, I said, "Yo, I was on my way to the ET event, and I said I didn't understand why God stripped me of everything at one time. He stripped it all from me, and it wasn't until that day. And this is how many months later? I got laid off in November of last year. We're in September of 20. Yeah. So almost a year later is when I really realized the lesson and why I got laid off.
Yeah. That's kind of like my story too.
That's crazy.
Like, I got laid off in 2018, and that's when I started my cooking business. But way before that, people was already telling me, like, every time somebody would come to my house and eat, they was like, "You need to sell this. You need to sell this." I used to hear it so much.
Well, man, ain't no plate in front of me to say, but man, you was in the wrong field. I don't even know what you was doing. I don't even know what you was doing.
Right. I was working in the lab as a chemist.
Wow.
A good job. A great job.
Chemist wasn't for you.
No.
The only thing you need to be mixing is the seasonings with that. Stop playing.
Thank you for that little part of being a chemist, because it probably taught you some things or whatever.
Yeah, it did.
But now you really know what you're calling this.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So I went in that office and he was trying to explain. I was like, "Just give me a separation notice. I'm good. I'm fine." In my head, I'm like, "I got a meeting I need to get to. This works out perfectly." Right?
Oh, that's a blessing.
Yeah, it was a blessing. So I was like, "Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate you. Take care, whatever." And the funny part about it was, that property was one of the first properties after I got my food truck on the road that I went right on back to and sold food at the
Wow.
Yeah,
full circle.
Yes,
I'm telling you.
but check this
God
out.
don't make no mistakes,
God don't.
man.
But check it out. I got fired. It was like the beginning of the week. It was that Monday. I got fired that Monday, right? I called my brother. I said, "We gotta bust a move real fast. Let's go get that truck, get our trailer from Mom's house, bring it on down here." I had already called my graphic guy. Take it on down to my apartment community where I'm living at. Put it in the parking lot. Let him put some graphics on there. I started just saying stuff and going on social media and telling people
things just start putting together.
I had to move them because I'm thinking now I got bills. I can't miss no payments.
I can't miss no money.
Right, exactly. So I gotta get stuff. It has to keep moving.
Right.
So then we started making flyers and we started telling people. God started putting on people's heart to bless me, so I could buy equipment. Start buying spoons and all. I got the truck, but you need stuff to go in the truck to fix the food.
Yeah.
I didn't have none of that stuff. I mean, literally, I didn't have nothing. People started blessing, giving me money, so I could buy pots and I could buy pans and all the essential things that I needed for my food truck.
Right.
That Monday, my truck, I got fired. That Monday, I got fired. Next week, Saturday, I was doing my launch for my food truck.
Wow. You had got everything. She had got her spoon.
I had exactly
accessories that she needed.
That next week, at where I lived, because where I live on the corner,
That's a blessing.
On the corner of Capitol and Memorial, you got Capitol Gateway Apartments, you got MLK Towers, it's a whole bunch of apartments there. So I wanted to utilize that area basically as far as to build my business. It's a lot of people.
Right.
Why would I not, market that area?
Right.
And it's on the corner of Capitol Memorial. You know what I'm saying? So all the people that I knew just came. It was amazing. May 1st, 2021. It was amazing.
So let me ask you this: what, for somebody out there, right, that they scared to take that leap, right? They didn't get to the point where they got let go yet, but they want to take that leap. What would be your first piece of advice?
I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you're called to be an entrepreneur, one of the key things that I think that you have to have is a relationship with God. Because I think that inwardly you get that nudge, you get that whatever you need to. I don't even know how to describe it in terms of. It's a feeling that you get that I got you. Right. Go ahead, I got you. And that day when I went in that office. When once I was kicked out, so I'm in the office now, and I'm like, you know what? I got nothing to write about. God got me.
Right.
And from that day to this day, God has had me. And whatever I can do in terms of for myself, He put people in my space to be able to help me.
Ain't that what we talking about?
Right. You won't fall, and you won't fail.
People being in your circle, not by chance, right? It
Supposed
don't
to.
come by chance. They're put there for a reason.
For a reason. Mm-hmm.
It don't make, God don't make no mistakes when it comes to that.
Nope. So that happened May 1st. Let me tell you something. We worked so hard that day. I had a staff of, inside the truck was, now the truck ain't no bigger than this right here. I learned so much. When you finally get your business, you'll learn so much. Yeah. Even when you don't know the business. I knew food, but I didn't know the business in terms of a food truck. You don't need no more than 3 people on a food truck. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you got to
y'all gonna turn around and be on top of each other.
Listen. It was like at least 6 people on that truck. Mm-hmm. But we had that day was over, it had to be over 300 people that we served. And I'm just saying roughly in my head. Think about how much money I made that day. It was a lot of people that we served that day, and we worked for about 5-6 hours.
So let me ask you, being new into the food truck industry. Well, for one, I got a couple things. What was one of the biggest lessons that came out of that? Being new.
Cut your menu down.
Cut it down.
Your menu. My menu had everything on it, from the rooty to the tootie. my menu had everything on it.
B, I can see you doing something like that. I asked her what was one of the biggest lessons that she learned going new into the food truck industry. She said cut her menu down. Her menu had everything on it.
That's me, because I feel like I can do a lot. And it's like when you cooking or serving somebody, it's like in your mind you have to please them.
Yeah, you want the choices. Yeah.
My mom is like that, but I be trying to tell her, listen, you gonna break
sometimes it's a good thing. It's sometimes
it's good. Sometimes it's bad.
It's a gift and a curse.
It is. But I'm gonna tell you what I do. My first Sunday, Soul Food Sunday, is when I have everything. I got fish, I got pork chops, I got roast, I got fried chicken, I got baked chicken. I spread it all. But on a regular day in the street or whatever, you catch me on the street, my menu's not that big. I got my main items, and that's all it is. Yeah. Because you gotta be able to move and get it out at a reasonable time as to where people are not waiting and basically just standing there looking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a time and a place for all of it.
Yeah.
The first Sundays and the third Sunday is my chill time. I call it Soul Food Sunday because I wanted to be like Big Mama's house. Sunday? First and third Sundays.
First and third.
Right.
Oh, that's good because you still give people the opportunity to try your food and then items that's not on the menu during the week. They still get to try it and it makes them want it.
I'm gonna find her. I'll find her on the first Sunday. Yep. I'll find her on the third Sunday.
Yep. That or they could request a certain type of menu during, like if I say, hey Tan, can you come bring your food truck out for this event? We're gonna have this many people. I think one of the items should be X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, and I do something like that. Yeah, I do that. Like we just heard on the phone a little while ago. They just want chicken and fish. Chicken and fish, French fries. We can do that all day.
Man, what?
Right. She said
that's a 7 minute. That's a 7 minute
exactly.
meal.
150 to 180 people. I'm in all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's easy breezy. I've done other dishes in terms of by people's requests. Outside of my menu because I'm a soul food. I'm a Carolina cuisine. So the majority of my things that are on my truck comes from my background from where I'm from.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it's red rice and it's stuff that it's a geechee roll that's on there.
Yeah. So that's what. We couldn't talk about it in the beginning because we didn't get into the food truck part.
Right.
What is a geechee roll?
So my geechee roll is an egg roll that has collard greens in it and it has red rice. Now, if you know anything about Charleston, we eat rice. In Carolina, we eat rice with everything. Like
what's that rice brand called? Ain't it a rice brand called something Carolina?
Carolina Pride?
I feel like it's called Carolina.
No,
I think it's a rice brand called Carolina. I think it's a brown.
It probably comes from that.
Oh yeah, it is.
Carolina rice. Yes,
Carolina rice.
Yeah.
I never knew that was a thing out there.
Me either.
Now,
this is something new.
When I was raised, there was a pot of rice on the stove every single day.
That's a West Indian household.
So whatever you eat, you could make an egg. You can make egg and rice.
Yeah, that's how we eat because you gotta get full. Rice get you full.
Rice get you full.
Mm-hmm. Rice is the man. When I was growing up, I think that's how I got so fat for real. No, I am West Indian and like everything we eat is either rice and peas or white rice, right? It's one of the two. And so eat that. I would eat a pot of plain white rice. I didn't care. I would throw some black pepper on it and some butter on it.
Right.
I put some barbecue sauce. That was my meal.
Yeah. And that's how we are with rice. Everything is with rice.
Yes.
So the egg rolls consist of red rice, which is sauteed onions, peppers, bacon, sausage, and it's made with a tomato paste. It's a little sweet, put a little sugar. It's a little sweet. And you can either make it on top of the stove or you can bake it however you choose to. And basically,
you can bake rice.
Yeah.
You cook it for a little bit.
I ain't never knew that.
Yeah. And
you don't cook it all the way through though.
I don't even cook it. I put it right on in there.
Oh really?
So what you do is you saute all your stuff up in a pan and your sauce and all the tomato paste and all that good stuff.
I've seen it. It's
on cooking anyway. So you saute all of that up. You pour it over that rice in the pan. Put it in the oven. Boom, bam.
No water.
45 minutes in an hour in the water. 45 minutes in an hour. Because it makes its own little juice once it gets in the oven. And with butter. It's good. It's really good.
We tried dirty rice. We got so good. We gotta switch it up a little bit. I made dirty rice.
People say it's like a jambalaya. But listen, they go, when I run out of that geechee roll, they're gonna fight me. Really? They love it. We
gotta try that.
So you know those rolls, anything egg roll became very popular within the last year or two or whatever. They put everything in an egg roll now.
Right.
So one of the young ladies that helped me, Jermaine, she's from Charleston, South Carolina, and she left her job to become an entrepreneur. She does a whole bunch of stuff. She makes cookies. She does a whole bunch of stuff. And so she said that while she was off, she wasn't working, whatever, she would help me on my truck in the beginning stage. She did. And so she created the geechee roll, and it is amazing. It's amazing. They love it. Yeah. So that's definitely one of the ones.
Is that one of the signature?
That's one of my signature items. Yes. And then I have the banana tea. That's another signature item.
Banana tea.
Yeah, banana tea.
What? What's?
I'm going.
What's I need to know what that is.
I love banana flavor.
So
I love it.
This is the interesting. Some people say that I don't know. It depends on who you ask. Everybody's taste buds are different. So therefore, some people say yes, it does taste like banana. Some people say no, it doesn't taste like banana. For me, I am the kind of person that I don't like things like. If you make bread pudding, you put raisins in it, I don't want the raisins. If you make banana pudding and you put the bananas in it, I don't want the banana, just give me the pudding. So I'm very plain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they say that basically you can taste the banana in it, but everyone says that it's very tropical.
Gotcha.
But
tropical give me like a banana.
Banana taste.
Yeah. It give you that.
They love it. They love it. You guys
see, I'm just like you. I would want it to taste like a banana. Like, oh, I'm putting like, no, I don't want to drink a banana.
Yeah.
I would like the flavor of it, but just like taste.
Y'all ever have banana now later? Now
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's my favorite.
Me too.
Yes. Even Laffy Taffy.
No, banana
And that's what they
milkshake.
said. It tastes like Laffy Taffy.
Banana milkshakes from Checkers.
I never
It's really
had
good?
it.
Fire.
Really?
I'm gonna have to try it.
Okay.
Fire.
Okay.
I gotta come and get some of that banana tea. I love banana flavor.
This third Sunday, I'm going to be in the corner Capitol Memorial.
Got you.
5. Yes.
Coming.
Yes. So yeah, they love that. They love that too. They love the pork chops. You know, we take pride in terms of how we fry things. I touch everything that's on my truck. I have, I think for my celebration in the 2 years, I made a joke about how much chicken I cleaned, because I clean my chicken myself.
Jeez.
I think about
Christ. I can't even
I'm OCD, so the hairs and all that up.
So yes to cleaning chicken.
Yes, to clean the chicken. That's what I was just doing. It took me a while to clean the chicken at the Danaita house, and I only had a few pieces.
I am
So,
very meticulous when it comes
Vinegar
to that.
and lime
Yes,
is my
vinegar
favorite.
and lime.
Yeah.
And I let it soak for a long time.
Yeah.
Because if you let it soak for a long time, it's
It
very
just come out.
That's
Yeah.
why.
Yes.
That's why we was
Yeah.
a little late.
Yeah.
That's why I was a little late on getting our food
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
But it's all good
I
because
don't play
It was
about
worth
that
it.
chicken. Salmonella.
It was worth it.
Yes, no. Very serious when it comes to, and people will tell you, even that come around my truck and they hang out, that's like, this is the cleanest food, because we're just clean. You know, it's like how you said, when you said you don't want to work certain places because you felt as though they weren't sanitized.
Hey, Tam, we
Yeah.
gonna come out one day to Soul Food Sundays, and we gonna bring all this.
Yeah, let's do a tape.
We gonna
Yes.
yes.
Let's do a tape.
But so I want to ask this, right? So, out of all the things that you've done, right? What is that thing, right? That you feel like is like what shaped you into the business person that you are? Like, because you said you were always a very hard worker, right? And so, what do you feel like was the thing, or the incident, or the time that shaped you the most?
I don't think it was one particular thing. I think it was a conglomerate of life, period, that basically lifed and caused me to be where I am today, to realize that what my purpose is and how it is. True enough said, there's what I do is not just about food and serving food and getting money for it. It's also about me putting a smile on your face, making somebody feel better about themselves. If you don't have any money, I tell you all the time, if you don't have any money, come to my truck, come and eat. You know, that's the heart of my mom.
I was just
That's the heart of my mom. So
mom laid the foundation.
Mom laid the foundation, and all I'm doing basically is just living it out. And if there is a need or whatever the case is, and I'm able to help in any way, then I don't mind doing it. Yeah. You always it's always going to be a return. Paying forward, and it's always going to be a return. It's going to be either a good return or a bad return. At 54 years old, I want to still decide to go with a good return. Good returns. Yeah.
All right. I know we had time, but we gonna pick this conversation back up.
Yeah.
When we bringing the team out.
I want y'all to come to the truck. Yes, we're gonna do Soul Food Sundays.
We gonna get us some Geechee rolls.
Yes.
And some banana
tea and some red rice. Yes.
We gonna come
And then what I also want to start doing too, I want to invite different other chefs. I'm a good friend of Chef Tanya Morris. She's an incredible chef as well, and Chef Valerie. I'm getting into the business now where I'm interested in my.
Two chefs is making some happen. I'm waiting for it.
Come on,
I see it
you
cooking.
guys. Bring whatever dish that y'all say. You said, Tan, well, buy this for me, and we're gonna serve this on Soul Food. So this, whatever you feature, like your candy yams or whatever your favorite is, or whatever you want to do.
Hold on, I just seen it. All right, so if we get B to come bring a signature dish on the truck, and we come in to test out your chicken.
Yes,
Shalia, we gotta make sure that's that.
Yeah,
that's gonna be big.
Yeah,
that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make that happen.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then introducing you to,
the world.
yes, absolutely. And I'm never
Chef be on the map.
Never selfish. Never selfish. It's enough out here for all of us to win.
Yes.
Everybody can win.
All of, and I'm
What
If
we're
it's
pushing
for
out.
you, it's for you.
But let me
Yes,
explain
ma'am.
something to y'all.
Yeah.
One thing about it, even if a pandemic break out again, whatever it is, people gonna still eat.
People,
They're gonna-
yeah,
they're
they're
gonna-
always-
never gonna
that's
stop
the first-
eating.
They
that
never-
was- When I say
A
during the
need-based
pandemic,
business.
yes, during the pandemic, that was like the pandemic really blessed me in a lot
It was a
of
blessing.
ways.
People
lot
who
of
don't
people-
know how to cook
it was a
now,
blessing a lot of
they
people.
scared to go
Yes.
outside. Don't worry about it.
Especially for
I'm
cooking.
on my way.
Yes.
I got it.
Yeah.
I had a little Uber service. I was going around delivering places. People meet me at a what?
That's what.
It was going
But
crazy.
that's how it starts.
How it
Yes.
When you starting and just tipping toe in the water,
Mm-hmm.
at some
It's
point
like
you start swimming.
You ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo,
The
it's
pandemic pushed a lot of us. Just pushed us.
Push us
It
out.
wasn't no warning. It wasn't no
I don't,
nothing.
you weren't
had
in
to-
here when
you
we
had
were
to
talking
go.
about it.
Yeah.
You weren't in here when we were talking about it, but she was saying, like, how I was telling her about the thing that I told y'all, like, how many black-owned businesses in Atlanta and how it's #1 in the nation. And she was telling me, about how it was birthed during a lot of
It
this was
was,
birthed during the
yeah.
pandemic. And the thing is, they're still going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Still going.
Yes, still going. Yeah.
They didn't know. They had no idea about how to run a business.
No.
But they went out there and they
Because you get accustomed to it after you done did it so long, it's like, I'm not going back to no job.
And guess
I gotta work for
what?
myself.
I said it all the time. That piece too, as well as even in the beginning, if you are making mistakes, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
The things that I did in 2021 on my truck, there are a lot of things I had to tweak that I'm not doing now in 2023.
Yeah.
And I'm
trial and error.
Yeah.
Everything
Trial
that I
and error,
learned
yeah.
in my life,
Yes.
I didn't have nobody to give
Yes.
me the blue.
Right.
I didn't have nobody
Right.
to follow. None of them. Nobody in my family or my friends, they weren't business people.
Right.
I told you they were set on security, and like my friends, it was just like we all are around the same age, so we all going through the process. But I didn't have that person, that mentor, or whatever, that guidance, and so everything I've learned in my life was trial and error. It was never a thing of I see
Yeah,
it,
right.
I see
You had a
this.
book, or you had a book.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
Right.
And so I think that was what shaped me in business as a whole. I knew that I didn't want a dictatorship type of vibe with anybody that I deal with on a business level. I'm not a dictator. I don't want to dictate to you what you should be doing or what this. I don't want to do that. I want to build a team.
Right.
I want everybody to win. Did I not? What did I text y'all the other day?
That's a fact.
I gotta water everybody. We gotta water each other,
right.
so that we can
Right.
grow. If we ain't growing, if everybody ain't
Then
pouring
what
in
we
the water.
doing? What we
Speaking
doing?
of which, I gotta water my plant.
It's tomorrow. Saturday.
Oh, tomorrow, Saturday. Yeah.
That
I'm so used to shooting on the weekend. I'm like Saturday.
Me too, yeah. Out the whole day today. I'm like, oh, today's Saturday. She just said she at work. I'm like, today's Saturday. Why is you at work?
Yeah. No.
And I want to say that you, in being an entrepreneur, don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Of course.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And when you have made a mistake and it's brought to your attention,
You learn from it.
you
and
learn
grow.
from it. If you need to apologize for it. Make it good. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You make it good, and then you move on.
Because you never want to leave on a bad note.
You never want to put a bad taste in nobody's mouth. When I tell people all the time, if you come to my truck and something's not to your satisfaction, please don't go tell Jane, because Jane can't do
I'm
nothing
going to just
about
go
it.
ahead and fix it.
I can do something about it.
Right.
Tell me. I can do something about it.
Yeah.
Because I want you to come back.
Yes. And not only that, you just know what you like. Like when you're a chef, it's a difference. Like a lot of people tell me like, oh, the plate always gotta be pretty, it's gotta be this. That's because that's what I would eat.
Right.
I'm not gonna feed nobody nothing I wouldn't eat. Or I wouldn't give somebody something that I wouldn't eat.
Yeah,
Or
presentation.
Because how it looks.
Yes.
Like that's just me.
Yep.
So
Yep. Very important.
you gotta always put yourself forward in that person's shoes when you're doing different
Absolutely.
things. So
Yep. I appreciate this opportunity. I really do. This was fun. This was fun. And I just hope that, of course, people, can contact me anytime for whatever reason. Auntie Al's Carolina Delish. I'm on all social outlets. My website is auntie.com. And yeah, feel free to go on the website and look at the story, look at the pictures, all that good stuff. And yeah, find me first and third Sundays.
Yes.
On the corner of Capitol and Memorial. Capitol Gateway Apartments. Soul Food Sundays.
We going to Soul Food Sunday, y'all. We taking business on. We talking business over brunch on the road. We getting ready to go to Soul Food Sundays, and we gonna get to experience Chef B versus but you know whatever the heck is. A collaboration between Chef B and Chef Tan.
Yes.
And I can't wait.
I can't wait.
I never had a geechee roll. I've never really had the Carolina rice type of.
Yes,
I've never really had it, and I've never had
experience.
banana tea.
So we're gonna give you a whole experience.
I can't wait to see.
The rice and the tea. I'm
Are
waiting.
you gonna tell us what your signature dish gonna be?
Not yet. Not yet.
That's cool.
It gotta be.
I was trying
be.
to get them exclusive.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna
figure it out.
She from the South. I'm from the South, so we gotta do it.
Is that considered the South?
Yeah, Memphis is the South.
Oh, I wasn't sure if it was South or Midwest.
South.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna do we'll do one of those days that it's like a tailgating.
Yeah.
Falcons game. Where we got the whole screen and we're doing all that, so we just
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a ball.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
We'll make it real big.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be dope.
Okay. That sounds good. Sounds good. All right.
Again, cooking with Chef B. Instagram. What's Grit on Instagram? What else?
Cooking with Miss B on Instagram.
Ain't that what I said first?
I don't know.
Cooking with Chef B.
Yeah, you said chef.
Oh, cooking with Miss B. I'm sorry. My bad. See? I'm sorry. Cooking with Miss B on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Yep.
What's Grit on Instagram? You got YouTube, Shalane?
Something like that. Yeah, I got YouTube.
What's Grit got YouTube, y'all? She's the one, man. She gonna pull her hat down. She gonna act like she ain't in the room,
But making it happen.
she making it happen.
I love it.
If y'all see the amount of equipment she got in here right now,
Right.
it's crazy.
So what's up? Okay.
10 Auntie Al's food truck.
Definitely checking it out. Say that
I can't wait to try
again.
that geeky roll and that banana tea. That's gonna be on my mind now.
Let's do it.
All right, y'all.
All right.
And that's a wrap.
Peace out.
That's a wrap.